Hi guys, it's Sarah with Grassroots Evolution, and I'm here today to bring you a monthly message for the sign of Aquarius for love and soul connections. Take what you feel resonates for you, my friends. Disregard the rest. Go about your day. Know that no matter what messages do come through, it's still up to you and your active free will, the choices you make and the steps you take in this world to get whatever fulfillment it is that you'd like to see. To me, that's personal freedom. That's personal power. It lies at the tips of your fingers, the soles of your feet. So use that wisely, my friends. That's your power to do. So for all my subscribers, I just want to say thank you. I love you, love you, love you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being here. You mean the world to me. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. It's wonderful to have you along. If you feel like this resonates, please hit subscribe, join the journey with me, let me encounter your energy more often. It'd be wonderful to have you along the ride. And as well as if you guys like this, if it resonates, please help me, give it a thumbs up, help it circulate. The support is greatly appreciated. So guys, I am going to be calling in a message from Spirit for your love and soul connections through March of 2021. Keep in mind though that even though there's a date on this, time is fluid. So we may be picking up on something that you're going through right now, something that's happened in the past or something that hasn't happened yet. Just keep an open mind, my friends, and an open heart throughout this. So I am also going to take a few minutes to call in Spirit. I'm going to ask Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, and Archangel Raphael, as well as my team of light, and any of your spirit guides that would be coming to this reading for the messages of highest good for the entire collective. They're more than welcome to join us. So I'm going to ask them to guide, guard, bless, and protect myself, this reading, and any of you guys who would ask for it, to use me as the clearest channel possible, delivering messages for the highest good of the entire collective. No second-rate messages here today, my friends. So if you want to think about a situation, a person, or even a question, you can absolutely do that now. We'll just take 3 deep breaths in and out and set your intention that this is what you're hoping to find some information out about. And again, remember it's general, so if it resonates, awesome. If it doesn't, just disregard it and go about your day. All right. Alright, so I'm going to do 3 different piles. One for you guys, Aquarius, another one for your love connection or soul connection, and then a space in between. So a pile for the space in between. Know that this could also pick up on coworkers, friends, family, children, parents, things like this, because it is a soul connection, and our soul connections aren't necessarily just love, but my intention here is mostly love, but things come through even if it's not necessarily romantic love, right? So let's see, what messages do you have about Aquarius and how they feel? And you get 2 things. You have heartache and loss. So you may feel like right now you're undergoing something. You may feel like you've lost something, that your heart is hurting. And we also have discontentment and boredom. And normally I wouldn't read this in the reverse with this deck, but it's in the reverse. And I think it's there for a reason, because we know that in the normal tarot, this is the 3 of Swords. But I feel like whatever's weighing on your heart so heavily, it's clouding your judgment. It's clouding, it's clouding what's in front of us and making us feel like, there's nothing good, and there's a lot good in our life. We can still go through heartache. We can still experience loss and recognize that this world is a beautiful, sunny place. Even if, it's dark and dreary where we are, we know that somewhere the sun is shining, somewhere it's a great day, and that it won't be dark and dreary forever. So let's find out a little bit more. Thank you. You have the Tower here. So I definitely heard unforeseen forces. There may have been a lot of unforeseen forces that you've been dealing with in the last little while. A lot of, I heard also abrupt changes, which are leading to this heartache and loss. So on your end, guys, and remember this can go vice versa. I feel like you're kind of going through a rough time right now. They're telling you to take the bottom. The bottom is victory and success. So I feel like that's also important, though, to recognize that even though there may be a lot of unforeseen changes, I also heard challenges, you may feel like your heart has been broken. I also heard like you may not feel like at this point you have a lot to offer. And when we're feeling crappy, when we're heartbroken, sometimes we do. We feel like, you know what, I don't have anything to offer them or another person right now. I need to focus on me. I'm going through a lot. And it really does kind of encompass or encapsulate a lot of our time, a lot of our energy. I heard that this disruption, though, whatever's changing, it's here to kind of break up a lot of negative influences around you. So this could also be to me, if you have a person around you who is more of a negative influence on you, and you know this, right? If you're happy or you're excited, they're like, wow, no, that won't work. Or they always have something to say about, you know, what excites you. They always have something to put it down or make you question the validity, or even I heard their loyalty or your loyalty. Is a reason things are being changed. And what I'm also hearing is just because it hurts doesn't mean it wasn't the right decision. So we can walk away from a stagnant, toxic situation and still miss the person, still miss the situation, still feel, I heard even remorse or guilt for walking away, depending on how it is, or if this person has left us, if they've walked away from us, and we may have known it was bad. We may have known for a long time, hey, this isn't what's for me, but not left. And I feel like this here, they keep saying stagnant. Spirit's like, we're going to change this. We are going to help you remove these situations from your life so that you can experience triumph and success, so you can be loud and proud with what is true to you. So if you have recently, or even if it isn't recent, but something is still weighing heavy on your heart, Spirit's like, don't worry, no fear. These changes happen for a reason. How we get victory and success is to see the lessons behind the changes, and as well as that we have to eventually find a way to come out of that depth of despair and depth of heartache, to turn our eyes around and look at the beautiful landscape behind us. Look at where you are. Pay attention, if you live in the country, I heard, or if you live in a place where the landscape is pretty beautiful, pay attention. Look at that every day. I heard also acknowledging and recognizing the landmarks around you, paying attention to the trees. Are they starting to bud? Little changes like that. Get out into nature, though. And they're also showing me the light here, the rainbow. And I'm not a very biblical person, but I am getting some biblical reference to Noah's Ark. That after the storm, after the flood, God put a rainbow out to let us know that he promises that's not going to happen again. That also forgiveness, but it's to see the variation of color, the color spectrum around you, as well as I definitely feel like this is healing energy, that if we choose that we're not going to heal, we won't, right? We have to acknowledge within ourselves that something needs to change. If we're feeling boredom, if we're feeling discontent, or if we're feeling our heart is heavy, we need to figure out what is weighing so heavily on me. Is this something I can change, something I can't change? And I feel like it would be important here to ask Spirit to help you with acceptance. And I heard divine acceptance and divine intervention as well, which I feel like Spirit, this unforeseen change or whatever it is, Spirit's brought this in for a reason. So I'm going to ask one more message, please, about the Tower, or about the Disruption card. They're saying healing is a choice. And you have the truth. So also, one of the things I'm hearing in terms of healing is a choice is when we look at the heartache and the loss. If we look at boredom and discontentment, if we look at these two issues with the Tower, Spirit was like, hey, something happened. Is we needed to remove this energy from your life so that good things could come. Excuse me, guys. Every time I eat, I had lunch, and then I sat down to this reading, and every time I eat, I get some burps happening when I sit down, so I apologize. You can't smell the lasagna, though, so it was delicious. With this truth, okay, I think this is also going, you know what, if we look at the situation a little bit different, we're going to start to see truths a little bit different the more we detach ourselves from the situation. So if we're trying to heal, is there some truth that I've overlooked? Have I sugarcoated it? Or have I turned my back away and chosen not to listen to those voices in the head, or just acknowledge that there is something I'm not paying attention to, or some hidden truth? Spirit's like, focus on what is true. What is true to you? What feels true? And also, I heard is sometimes what feels true isn't always what's true. It's that we're clouded by or blinded by a hurt vision. We haven't removed ourselves from the situation. So one thing I'm hearing definitely with this is to remove yourself from the situation and kind of try and detach from it to see what was the lesson, what is the truth in this, and what can I do to bring myself harmony, to bring myself success? What ties do I need to cut to be able to move on? Is there any belief systems that have changed over this process, over this time? Is there any truths that I used to believe and now I see them as untruths? Are there false belief systems that I held on to? What I'm hearing is the fairy tale land with the Four of Cups here, and having this castle in the background and him in his own castle just choosing not to look at things. If we have a sense in our mind that it's going to be a Disney movie every time we meet someone, we fall in love, we live happily ever after, and we don't have struggles, well, that's not the truth. And if we paint a picture as relationship can only look one way, or happiness only looks one way, we're setting ourselves up for failure. But I also heard betrayal. We're betraying ourselves because we're not keeping an open mind, okay? Now, in terms of, we know that love shouldn't hurt, right? Love shouldn't be destructive. It shouldn't take away your self-worth. That's a truth. Some of us may have clouded that over as well to go, well, I don't want to be alone. So being together with someone is better than not. And there's also where that could be a self-deception that some of us stay together because we don't want to be lonely. But there is a level of loneliness that comes from being in the wrong situation. And I also heard at the wrong time. So I'm going to pull some more cards about that after, but I think like focusing on the truth, seeing the truth and the heart of the matter, that yes, you're allowed to feel heartbreak, you're allowed to feel loss, and this is something that if you don't process it, right, if you don't live with it, if you don't feel it, it's not going to move on. So this is where it's like, do what you need to do to be able to move on. But if you feel like this has been something that's ongoing and is hindering your life, this is where we really want to be truthful within ourselves. Are we holding attachments to something or the person? Is what can we do, okay, to make things better for us? On your person's side, we have the waiting game. And I feel like this is important as well because divine timing is at play. I'm going to get some more about that. They're showing me the tree in this hourglass though, that as above, so below. This is the same as within, so without. It may be that your person, if you've not met this, if this is a new love energy, and it almost feels like it is, a new love energy coming into your world, they're waiting until the energy is in alignment and you're being pulled. When we experience a lot of heartache and loss, a lot of times we're not calling in new love. We're not calling people in. We may be calling people in that are here to help us to go through it, but it may not necessarily be the new romantic relationship that you want either. So tell me a little bit about the waiting game, please. Spiritual union. Definitely feel like your partner on the other side, if you know them, they're waiting until you're in a better place to come forward. If not, I definitely feel like Spirit saying, you know what, when the time is right, we're going to bring you your match. We're going to bring you a spiritual connection that's going to change your life and going to nurture your soul. You also have the universe. Absolutely. Universe is doing this. On your partner's side as well, I feel like as well, the person that you're dealing with, or the person you're thinking about, or the person you have no idea who they are, but they're coming into your world. They've asked for you, they've prayed for you, they've spoken to the universe. Hey, I'm ready for my twin flame. I'm ready for my soulmate, I'm ready for my person, I'm ready for a new adventure. I also heard soul catalyst as well. The universe knows that before you signed up to come into this world in this incarnation, we have soul contracts. We make contracts with people to meet them again. And there is definitely a past life feeling to this with the spiritual union. And this is also connecting here. You may have a telepathic bond as well with this person, but I feel like it's important to know that they understand each other fully. You may not even need to talk with this person. They may actually just hear your soul speaking to you. But this is a connection that is lighthearted, I heard, but also one that nurtures and waters you. So, of course, we have 2 twos here as well. Both, I feel like, about decisions, about balance, but also about knowing that Spirit's not going to bring this in until the time is right. I also heard they may be going through some lessons as well, and I feel like the partner or the soul connection is also learning to really value themselves, to have self-confidence, and to know that they're worth as well, that they're worthy of having this kind of relationship. So I feel like even though it's not here, there's a lot of mirroring. This person, it shows no indication that they're going through struggle or heartache. However, the universe is getting them ready to be able to be a proper spiritual partner, I heard. So the bottom of the deck is stand your ground. I also feel like this person is sort of starting to learn how to be able to be confident in themselves, how to be able to speak with clarity, speak with intent, even though that's not here. But they're learning that they're worthy just as they are. They can stand their ground. They don't need to change for anybody. And this isn't that I feel like, it's not like they're not doing work on themselves. It's just that they know that when the right person comes along, they're going to love them for exactly who they are. So I feel like your person over here too, they're waiting, they're being picky, and they're being choosy because they're not going to allow their energy to be misused. I also heard misrepresented, and they don't want to be aligned with anything that is no longer for their highest good or the higher truth here. So the space in between is 3 of Cups. Rejoicing and celebration. When you come together, there will be celebration. There will be happiness. There will be joy. This may be a group of friends as well. Like this could be a group of people, a healing group as well, that when the time is right, when you start to realize and acknowledge the truth within you, that this is going to show itself and present itself. But this is also a wonderful heart space. So I heard together but separate. Let's get a little bit more here, please. Tell me about this 3. Obstacles and challenges. I feel like as well that when you get together with this person or this group of people, you're going to celebrate yourselves. Celebrate how far you've come, what you had to do to get here, the obstacles and challenges that shaped you and that made you. Tell me more about these obstacles and challenges. And 2 more cards came out. Rest and rejuvenation and transformation, which on your side I definitely feel like that's what Spirit's doing with the disruption card. They're changing things, and it's important. With another 4, you had the 4 of Cups, now we have the 4 of Swords. In our mental space, we need to relax, we need to put our mind to rest. Part of the reason why, if we experience heartache and loss, we suffer so much is because we can't get our mind off of this. So Spirit's like, you know what, I think meditation would be really important. Get out into nature or put on, some meditation music on YouTube. If you have any of your favorite meditations, do them. Really open your palms as well to be receiving of universal energy, and just focus on your breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth, and sit there quietly. Even if it's just a few minutes, you can have a time amount of breath just to kind of recharge your soul. As well as what I'm hearing is be really open to what does Spirit have to say. For some of you, I heard you may actually meet in a meditation group as well. So the bottom of the deck is emotional loss. I think you've both went through emotional loss. The person on this side might even be able to teach you a little bit on how they dealt with it. There could be support groups as well that you're meeting through. But there's definitely transformation being asked of both of you. I feel like you're already doing these things separately, and the universe is going to keep this person cloaked, is what I heard, or in waiting with the waiting game. So getting yourself rest, focusing on getting yourself healthy, focus on getting yourself happy, and focus on the truth for you. And that's going to bring this whole energy of you're proud to be who you are. You acknowledge your traits and your positive traits at her, but you acknowledge your, and hearing accountability. There's another word though, your greatness, ability. You acknowledge your abilities, and that's important too, because when we know what we're capable of, when we can see the truth of who we are, and that, you know, even if in the past we've told ourselves, no, I can't do that, now we look at it and go, that was with the limiting belief system. And there's nothing, what's the word I'm looking for? There's nothing hypocritical about growth and change. We can grow, we can change our opinions. And we may have somebody look at us like, well, you're a hypocrite because you said this. And you go, no, I've grown. I've learned that my old way of thinking suited me then, but it no longer suits me now. And this isn't talking about somebody like where energy is like they flip-flop all the time. This is just personal growth, real growth, knowing that, hey, I'm undergoing some changes, but it doesn't mean that I can't change the way I've looked at things in the past. So for some of us in the past, we may have thought victory really means that relationship comes back, or we get this job, we get this stuff. When in actuality as well, especially on healing journey, victory can literally mean like, I was finally able to release that thought. I was finally able to release the attachment to this. If you're going through a lot of heartache, if your heart is hurting, and we need to acknowledge our triggers as well as what I heard, like what triggers you, what brings up more emotional hurt baggage, or what is it that the spirit really, I think, it's like breaking you up to let the light in. So if there's darkness that is you're holding on to, what is this darkness, right? Because the only way we can bring it into the light is to acknowledge it, to shed light on it. The bottom of the deck, right, I said, was emotional loss. This is where it's going. So in terms of whatever you're going through with this situation, one of the things that I'm thinking about, my mom actually told me, is imagine yourself, if you're dwelling on a situation, imagine yourself, especially if it has to do with a lot of guilt for you or anything, imagine yourself going back to that situation and imagining a different outcome. Okay, something that changed. And I mean, if you're trying to get another person back into your life and you go back to the situation where you broke up and you imagine a different outcome, it may be counterproductive unless it's this person coming back when the time is right. I don't really get that though. I feel like this would be more like go back into the situation, and rather than trying to see it as not happening, go back and see it as, rather than being destructive and destroying you, see it as liberating, and try and work your mind around that. But this meditation is very, very important to bring your mind some peace, as well as what I'm hearing is cord cutting for attachments. If it is still this heartache or this sorrow and this sense of loss attached to a person, imagine cutting the cords of energy with those people, sewing it up, and asking the light to come back in and to fill you up, so that and help cleanse you of anything that's stagnant, to help you see the truth of who you are, the beauty of who you are, and that you're not lacking because you don't have this person in your life. You're whole and you're complete on your own. And the more we focus on this, the better and more likely it is that we're going to also call in the next soul contract that's meant for us. So I'm going to bring you some tarot before I bring in the romance angels. Spirit, can you tell me about the truth that Aquarius is meant to, I heard believe. So you have the King of Wands and you have the Nine of Cups. And there is fulfillment. The truth is you have everything you need. You can be emotionally satisfied, emotionally fulfilled. on your own. But also that what you want, you can have. This bird, see, cat sitting beside a bird cage, very, very pleased with himself because he finally got that bird. He's been looking at that bird in that cage for a really long time, and he finally got it. And I feel like this is where it is, this victory and success too. Cat looks pretty friggin' proud of himself. Is there something that you're working towards? Is there a feeling or a meaning to what we're talking about right now? Maybe some of you did get the bird, or definitely the opportunity that you want when it comes. Pay attention to it. This also could be a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio in your life. The King of Wands, you could have a Leo for sure, Aries or Sagittarius. I say Leo first because this beautiful man, or this beautiful man, could be definitely a man in your world as well, that is caring, but is passionate and driven. Fierce loyalty as well as what I heard. Fiery intuition, however, they could have a little bit of a temper as well, okay? So I think it's really important though, regardless of that, if that's anybody else, that could be just your energy going, you know what? You want what you want to feel good, you want to feel like you've accomplished something, go after your dreams in the highest level. Also, I'm hearing that there may be where to remove yourself as well from this heartache and loss, we may need to work on balancing out the masculine polarity within ourselves as well. Tell me more about this King of Wands. You get the Sun. That's gorgeous. That is beautiful as well. So you have the Sun as success with the Ten of Pentacles here, which is also about family, stability, having it all. And this could also be an earth sign, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. I think it's more Spirit wants you to know that the truth that you should focus on is you can have it all. We just have to have our mind in the right place as well, that when we have it all, we're not focusing on something that we don't have, and we're not creating a situation of lack, right? We're seeing ourselves as successful. We're imagining ourselves as I almost said sexual. We're imagining ourselves as successful. We know that what is meant for us will come. The light will shine. That we can have grounded, stable, I heard parents or family. Definitely, though, I feel like there needs to be an end to something as well with the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Pentacles, that we're putting the past behind us and focusing on moving forward. And as well, the Sun card in Old School Tarot is a yes. So if you know what that truth is, the truth is yes. Follow your yes, follow your sun, follow the bright star that leads you in the right direction. For your partner or soul connection, we have the Fool. Definitely ready to make the move, but when the time is right, I heard. And you have the Ace of Swords here. Could be an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This is a brand new way of thinking, a brand new line of communication, but this is a regal eagle, okay? This side, I feel like, is ready for a majestic adventure to spread new truths and new ways of understanding. They're ready to have their mind blown wide open, my friends. And I feel like what I heard is they're looking for you to do it. There is something within you, whatever you possess, the truth you possess, that is to help them along their journey too. So you need to focus as well on your worth and what you offer in this table, what you bring to the table in this world. And this person, I think, like, they are, once they realize as well their worth, there is definite overlap here. But once they realize what their worth is, they're going to come happy. And I heard the words gaily, not in a homophobic slur, but in the words of like skipping along happily. Without a care in the world is what I heard, and without worrying about what anyone else is going to think of their adventure, because they're just ready for a brand new adventure. And I heard that starts in the mind first, freeing ourselves to know that we can have an adventure. The bottom of the deck is Judgment with the Page of Cups as well. So also there is truth coming out. This person in the past may not have made themselves available or offered themselves to you because they didn't feel like either the time was right or they were worthy. And I think as well they're starting to realize, no, they are worthy. And the only way they're going to get what they desire too is to ask for it and to go for it. So with this Page of Cups at the bottom as well is, I feel like this person may actually be the person that comes towards you to offer love. This could be a younger water sign as well, a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. Somebody, I feel like, who has a heartfelt message for you. And because this emotional loss was in both sides, I feel like they may come to you for a heart-to-heart conversation and just be like, I've been there before, and help you work through some of this stuff as well. So for the shared energy, please. You get the Strength card. Could definitely have Leo in your chart or in their chart. They could be a Leo with the Nine of Pentacles. That you've both had to build yourself up. This is self-made, self-taught, and very, very capable and worthy of life's challenges. What I heard is that it doesn't matter what life throws at you. You're going to remain a king. You're going to remain a queen. Stay in that energy, stay in that vibration, and be strong, right? Don't cave in for anybody about what they think you should do or how you should do, and everything in your own timing. And I heard divine timing, and we have worth waiting for pops out. Because this romance, it is worth waiting for. Divine timing is at play here. That heard Spirit's not going to bring it for you when it's not right. Like, there's challenges to be overcome, and they're on a personal level for both of you. So there may be a little bit of waiting for this, for the transformation to happen, but don't try and rush it because that's not going to help anything here. Just know that when the time is right, it will come. And the bottom of the deck is letting go of control issues. This is one of the most difficult things a lot of us have to do too, because we want to control the outcome. We have a certain vision on what we think things need to look like, an attachment to this outcome. And there's where we need to release that attachment to be like, you know what? It says allow this situation to unfold naturally. That's where we may need to do it. And there's a lot of lessons in there as well. So that's what I have for you guys. If it resonates and you'd like to comment down below, I'd love to hear from you. If not, totally cool. But I love you all. I will talk to you soon. And I hope you have a really great month. Bye, guys.